Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Gomansing. Testifiers spoke to senators today at the Fritz Louette's Legislative Hall in St. Croix to both oppose and agree with passing the sin tax bill. More growing concerns have been building in regards to Bill number 32-0007 regarding raising property taxes, and sentiments on the both bills were debated strongly. Here's Stephanie with more.
With a $100 million shortfall and the inability to borrow, the Virgin Islands is in a frantic mode to find revenues to sustain operational government costs.
Virgin Islands. But you had the Lime Tree deal? You vote no.
Time.
You got VIGL? You vote no. Now you have these taxes? Is no. So where are you generating? Where?
Do you have any relevance to such a reporting that in fact that it'll knock us out of our competitive edge with the region?
The taxation that we're looking at, or the increases that we're looking at, do not pose a significant threat.
With much controversy, Bill number 32-0005, also known as the sin tax bill, and Bill number 32-0007 relating to property taxes have been passed by the 32nd Legislature's Committee of Finance. Senator Hansen spoke about the effects of raising property taxes.
That is not about rum and cigarettes only. It's about rum, cigarette, and your property. If you reduce the exemption, then you increase the property taxes. It's as simple as that.
Even though several alternative revenue enhancement proposals have been submitted to the governor by legislators, private citizens, and business owners, the public has yet to hear from the governor backing their ideas. Instead, the governor's proposed sin tax bill is on the floor today, awaiting approval from the Committee of Rules and Judiciary. Testifiers spoke to senators, but as of news time, no votes were made. Stephanie Brown, News 2.
Meanwhile, it was a small but vocal crowd that showed up at the St. Croix Legislature building to protest the possible sin taxes, chanting "No sin tax" and holding signs. The Committee on Rules and Judiciary took testimony from senators and members of the business community who expressed their concerns, frustrations, and a perceived lack of understanding about the long-ranging impact the sin taxes would have on the Virgin Islands economy.
It's going to be detrimental to every business, not just restaurants. So places like Pueblo, Food Town, things like that, Plaza, they're going to spread the taxes across all the products, milk, cheese, bread, everything.
Is that ultimately we may have to accept some of these sin taxes, but what we really strongly are pushing the senators for, and the governor for that matter, is the opportunity to look at some other alternatives.
Well, as we shared, Governor Kenneth Mapp during his Wednesday press conference exclaimed that the territory has roughly $100 million shortfall and that low bond ratings has made it difficult to borrow in order to help support operating costs. And as such, he has directed his cabinet officers to cut government spending by 10% to help make ends meet. Governor Mapp is considering several measures. Here's more from that press conference.
We have on the agenda closing the government one day every 2 weeks until September 30th. That would include, or that could include, closing the schools for a full day on a Friday. So we are going to close all of the recreation centers, lights off across the territory by 8 p.m. We are prepared to order the police department, the Bureau of Corrections, the fire department to reduce all overtime outlay by 80%.
And as we reported, Governor Mapp also expressed his displeasure with comments that Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen made on her radio program last Saturday regarding the effects of the governor's proposed property tax bill towards veterans and senior citizens. Senator Hansen held a press conference today to address several issues.
That I'm reacting to Governor Kenneth E. Mapp. I think that the matter is so serious, we have to have the courage to react to it. The so-called sin tax doesn't necessarily apply only to rum, liquor, and sugar. Relates to applying an increase on the property taxes for veterans, homestead, and senior citizens. And how is that done? Once you remove the exemptions, well, automatically you increase the property taxes.
Meanwhile, Governor Mapp leaves for Washington to attend the National Governors Association winter meeting, where he serves as a member of the Committee on Homeland Security and Border Protection. He also plans meetings with Trump administration officials, including President Donald Trump, Vice President Mike Pence, the respective secretaries of the Department of Transportation and the Department of Health and Human Services, as well as members of Congress, to discuss our federal partnership and infrastructure priorities and other needs of the territory. Senate Vice President and Chairwoman of the Committee on Health, Hospitals, and Human Services, Senator Narita O'Reilly, just a reminder, has scheduled a public hearing on Friday, February 24th at 10 a.m. in the Herb Lee Otley Legislative Hall, Capitol Building, St. Thomas. The committee will hear from the Royal Schneider Regional Medical Center's executive team. Members will testify concerning the hospital's financial challenges and plan of action for the Charlotte-Kimmelman Cancer Institute, the hemodialysis unit, the psychiatric ward, and other related issues. There will be a separate committee hearing with the Department of Human Services that will be announced at a later date. Virgin Islands Senate Majority Leader Neville James commended Virgin Islands Attorney General Claude Walker on Wednesday for the VI Department of Justice's decision to pursue a civil lawsuit against Terminix on behalf of the government of the Virgin Islands, though the federal government filed their own suit against the pest control franchise for their use of banned pesticides in the territory. The AG's local lawsuit claims the company also violated several territorial statutes, including the Virgin Islands Pest Control Act of 2006, which was sponsored by Senator James. James said the bill came about after the VI Department of Planning and Natural Resources had done a review of the local code as it relates to matters under the purview of the department. In March 2015, a family visiting the island of St. John became ill after Terminix fumigated the unit beneath their condo using a banned pesticide containing methyl bromide. Well, in his attempt to assist the taxi drivers with issues they face in today's taxi industry, Senator Marvin Blyden, member of the Committee on Economic Development, met with key members of the industry, to include the taxi commissioner, Mr. LeVron Saru, to discuss issues the industry face and upcoming legislation that may affect them at the Education Conference Room on Education Street on Wednesday. Topics on the agenda included health insurance, Uber, water taxi service, and pending legislation that include mandatory credit card options for customers. The senator ensured that he will remain active with the group and follow up with information that members requested at that meeting. Well, members of the Virgin Islands Democratic Party, they are joining fellow Democrats from across the nation and abroad to attend the Democratic National Committee winter meeting in Atlanta from today, February 23rd to the 25th at the Westin Peachtree Plaza Hotel. The VI delegation consists of State Chair Donna Christensen, Vice Chair Glenn Smith, National Committee Woman Carol Burke, National Committee Man Luis Tito Morales, and the 4 elected members of the DNC will cast their individual vote on Saturday, February 25th, to elect a new chairman and other officers who will assume leadership of the DNC. Both Christensen and Burke were chosen to be part of the audience for the CNN debate with candidates for chair of the DNC on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, under an executive order signed by Washington State Governor Jay Inslee, state resources will not be used to obtain documents about a person's immigration status unless otherwise required by federal law. The governor says the executive order reaffirms the state's commitment to diversity and inclusiveness. Here's more.
I've just signed executive order number 17-1. This reaffirms the state's commitment to tolerance, diversity, and inclusiveness. This executive order is designed to ensure that all state agencies under my executive authority carry out only those duties and responsibilities prescribed to them in state and federal law. Their role is to fulfill missions of providing services to Washingtonians, not enforcing immigration statutes.
Keeping our eye on the economy, Let's take a look at the New York Stock Exchange with the Stock Market Watch. According to the numbers there, we can see the Dow up 34, NASDAQ down 25, S&P 500 up. Coming up on News 2, our Black History recognition. Do you know who Bessie Coleman is? That's coming up next. Welcome back. In our Caribbean news, we turn our attention to NEWS. Outstanding academic achievement was honored at the Flow Press Conference. The Ministry of Education teamed up with the Chamber of Industry and Commerce after partners to promote academic excellence. Here is more.
At the Flow Press Conference honoring outstanding academic achievements of the 2016 examinations, the Ministry of Education teamed up with the company and other partners such as the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, promoting academic excellence, but most memorable was the sage advice given to upcoming examinations candidates for 2017. Know what you want and go after it were the words of Orion Stapleton, runner-up state scholar from the NEWS Sixth Form College. Live by the 5 P's: purpose, passion, preparation, persistence, and prayer. You can't go wrong, said Camille Wilkin, second runner-up state scholar, also from the NEWS Sixth Form College. Throughout your academic journey, you are going to face challenges. You are going to come across teachers and your personalities may not mesh, but you still have to subdue the tensions and look at the overall goal, State Scholar Hillman Roberts of the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College. Do not procrastinate. Work hard consistently in bits and pieces. You can do it. The work is not overwhelming once you set your mind to it. Shermel Drew, awardee of the Teachers Education Division. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, the Honorable Sean Richards, was pleased with the experiences shared by the awardees for academic excellence. He said, "You have worked hard and attained successes that have secured your presence at today's events. Do not ever be content with mere passes, mere getting by, shun mediocrity, hunger for excellence, and apply yourself consistently and wholeheartedly to the attainment of excellence," the minister stated.
Turn our attention back at home and to crime reports. Police are looking for 20-year-old Samuel Roberts. Roberts is wanted in connection to a homicide. Here's more from VIPD.
Samuel Roberts goes by the alias Ghost. Robert is a black male, height about 5'6" to 5'9", weighs about 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes with a low haircut. Places frequented: Lorraine Village, Mutual Homes, Estate Tortola, all located in Estate Grove Place. Roberts is armed and dangerous. If you come in contact with Samuel Ghost Roberts, please call the Criminal Investigations Bureau at 340-778-2211. The Anonymous Crime Tip. Crime Stoppers, VI at 1-800-222-TIPS or 911.
Department of Human Services Division of Family Assistance on St. Croix was back in business today after it closed at noon on Wednesday. In accordance with standard safety procedures and regulations, they closed due to maintenance issues. Office resumed regular business hours beginning this morning at 8 a.m. Welcome back to our Black History recognition. Bessie Coleman was the first African-American woman to become an airplane pilot, the first American woman to hold an international pilot's license, and the first black licensed pilot in the world. Born in Texas in 1892, Coleman worked as a manicurist at a barbershop in Chicago where she heard tales from pilots returning from World War I. This is when Coleman started to fantasize about becoming a pilot because she was black and a woman. Coleman could not gain admission to American flight schools. She took French lessons at a local language school and went to France to get her license. Bessie returned to the U.S. and performed successfully in air shows. Tragically, in 1926, at the age of 34, Coleman plummeted 1,500 feet and died during a test run with her plane. The Honorable Brian Smith, Senator Smith, visited the Joseph Gomez Elementary School earlier this week and engaged with the younger minds in our community. He volunteered his time by reading some books about Black history, such as Book of Black Heroes from A to Z by Wade Hudson and Valerie Wilson Wesley to Ms. Duncan's 4th grade class. Smith also visited the E. Benjamin Oliver School today. St. Croix District Director of Special Education, Mrs. Lyria Bryan Heiliger, announces that a nationally recognized author, Carol Kosniski, is conducting a workshop that began Thursday, February 23rd, today, to Tuesday, February 28th, to train and support special education stakeholders in the school district. The workshop is geared toward parents of students with disabilities, special education teachers, paraprofessionals, and school administrators. That will be held from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the St. Croix Educational Complex Library. Again, started the 23rd today and each subsequent day at the St. Croix Curriculum Center's large conference room. Kosnitzky has been a director of special education services for over 20 years in New Hampshire. In the training, Kosnitzky will focus on improving outcomes for students with disabilities. Well, did you purchase a sheet of the Virgin Islands Lottery? Farmer's Ticket, that's what it was called. It was drawn earlier today with a $175,000 grand prize, along with the beautiful images. The Virgin Islands Lottery with the Department of Agriculture, they partnered up to feature local farmers from CJ Farms, Staff of Life Farm, GLG Farm, Badu Farm, New Breed, and the St. Croix Farmers Market. Here are your winning numbers.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on NEWS2. Here are the top prizes. 5th prize for $20,000, 26967. 26967. 4th prize for $30,000, 9682. 9682. 3rd prize for $40,000, 16208. 16208. 2nd prize for $65,000, 32136. 32136. And the winning ticket number for the grand prize of $175,000 is 10324. 10324. If your ticket number wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is March 9th. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
Good luck as you check those tickets. Well, it's time to get your beads, party hat, and dancing shoes for the annual Mardi Gras Parade on Cane Bay Beach Saturday at 12 noon. It's the 15th anniversary of the parade, which has grown into a mix of New Orleans style with a definite Crucian flavor. This year's theme is in the jungle, and everyone is invited. In addition, there will be a special fireworks show Friday night starting at 8 p.m. at Cane Bay Beach. It's all part of the Mardi Gras experience.
It's 15 years for Mardi Gras, and we want to invite everyone out. But we have a special feature this year. Friday night, the 24th, we're going to be having fireworks, a pre-Mardi Gras going to the jungle safari party, and we want to invite everyone out.
And the fireworks will start promptly at 8 p.m. There'll be about 1,000 shots that'll go in the air. We're using something called cakes, so they're pre-packaged in 50 and 100 round shots.
It's the 15th anniversary. Let the good times roll. Come out and party. We've got 2 days of activities. Come out and have a good time.
Let's see what the weather's going to be like. Stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
Taking a look at our current satellite, we're seeing the tail end of a cold front associated with a big storm across the Atlantic sink its way in across the Virgin Islands. So a couple more showers for today, but the good news, this larger storm system just off towards our north and our west, pulling away and off towards the northeast, and so that's not going to quite make it to our region, and we won't see too many effects from that here. However, down across the south, we are starting to see some subtropical moisture be pulled up, and as we head into our Sunday and Monday, we'll begin to see a slight uptick in showers here. So As far as our showers for the rest of this evening, should be spotty if at most here for tonight, and we are looking at mostly clear conditions. 72 degrees for our low. Now working our way into tomorrow, we'll have that sunshine return. We're going to start to head towards a more trade wind flow pattern here as we head throughout the rest of the area. Now St. John's, St. Thomas, the north-facing beaches, we are seeing some larger swells associated with those storms passing through the Atlantic. So rip current risk on the north-facing beaches will be an issue here. This is also going to go for St. Croix, but mostly held out towards St. John's and St. Thomas. Mostly sunny skies for St. Croix tomorrow, a high of 85. Out on the water, small craft advisory starts Friday afternoon and through the evening for tomorrow on the Atlantic side. Waves 5 to 7 feet, and our winds out the south 10 to 15 knots. So definitely going to be an issue, and the further out you go from those barrier islands, the stronger those swells are going to get as well. On the Caribbean side, we're slightly less here, 4 to 6 feet, winds out the south 10 to 15 knots, and we're not seeing as high of a chance of rip currents as well. So taking a look at your extended forecast, could see a spotty shower here on our Saturday, but then will increase on our Sunday and Monday as we start to see more of that moisture pulled up from the south, as I said earlier. So Sunday, Monday looking to be the best chances of getting wet if you're walking outdoors, so make sure you do have an umbrella handy, and then we'll return to that normal trade wind flow pattern. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you. It's time for our News 2 weather picture there by Nahalia Giddings of Ricardo Richards, sharing some sunshine, puffy white clouds, and looks like a beach day. Nahalia, you're looking forward to that. Send us your News 2 weather picture. Thank you. To News 2 Innovative Business Center, 4611 Tutu Park Street 300, St. Thomas VI 00802. That is all for now. We'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Have a wonderful evening.